What is up? What is up, people? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, give me a hello. Say yes, you can hear me. This is a sound and video check. Just type yes, we can hear you. Just let me know in the chat. Yes, yes, loud and clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So good to see you guys live. Otherwise, you just like watch me on Instagram Reels or whatever. It's nice to actually kind of see you guys here, do this live, nice Sunday morning. Thank you guys for being here. Awesome. So today is Today's a great day, man. Hi, Mamta, Arya Khaimar, Vrtanshu, Shete, Study Hub. Guys, let me know which cities you are from. Tell me a bit about yourself. Tell me which city you are from. Tell us your educational background, etc. Let us know in the chats. Um, you know so yeah, tell us about yourself. Tell us about like what struggles you're facing, because the idea is to build a community. It's the idea is to help people who want to learn video games. The big problem is that there's not much information out there, right? There's not much guidance, there's not much mentorship. There are so many people, so many of you. You have questions, you want to join the game industry, you want to make video games, but there's no real guidance. There's no one senior from game industry telling you, hey, listen guys, this is what you guys need to do at this point, this is how you need to focus. I see so many people who are really really keen, who are really, really passionate to join the game industry, who don't know what to do. And the problem is there's so much false information out there. There is information on the internet. There are some random YouTube videos. Some people, there are chats, there's Reddit, there's Quora, and people just type random shit. There are misconceptions, there are illusions about the game industry and everything. And the point of this podcast today, my goal generally is to talk to you guys very, very frankly. See, also one thing about me, you have to realize this, that I'm very straightforward. Okay, I'm a straightforward person, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you as far as possible. The truth may be difficult to hear, but it's much better that your illusions about what is and what not are removed, so that you can actually focus on doing something, right? So that's who I am. Yes, I mean, a lot of you will be like, Rahul is here just to sell his courses. Sure, I would like to have people join my courses because I really help people, but this is not about that. Okay, this is about giving you the information that you need to succeed genuinely. If someone is interested in getting my guidance, most welcome. Otherwise, you're most welcome to do it yourself or whichever way you want to do it. Right? That's my thing. I want to be able to, when I'm lying, dying, I want to be able to think like, all right, man, I did my bit for the game industry. I was able to help some people become game developers, game designers, game artists. I made a difference. I made a difference in my life, right? Which is what I really want to do. Okay, so let's get started. So today is going to be a very, very. Before I used to have these podcasts, I used to have like all these slides with like all this tech specs and everything, right? So today is going to be a very interesting format that I'm trying, which is going to be kind of different, and that I'm going to use memes. Okay, so I've got a bunch of memes. I've got a bunch of memes on Instagram, and I collected all those memes, and I'm going to try and teach you guys through memes. Okay, and so what we're going to do is for the first half an hour, I'm going to kind of talk, and then what we'll do for the next half an hour also, what we'll do is that I'll answer your questions. I have some questions that people have submitted on WhatsApp, right? Some people have submitted these questions on WhatsApp. So I'm going to type these questions. I'm going to answer these questions that I have, and I'm going to answer questions from the chat. Okay. And of course, you guys are most welcome to join the Discord server. Guys, make sure all of you join the Gamer to Make a Discord server. It's a good way of joining the Gamer to Make community. A lot of people from the course, I'm there on the server. So if you want some degree of access to me or to the mentors or to the community, please join the G2M Discord server. The link is in the description of this video. Okay, so do have a look. Also, something goes wrong here, like some kind of disruption in internet or something. You guys will know what's going on. So okay, with that, let us get started. Okay, so right, where do we start? Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about a roadmap. I'm going to be telling you what is the fastest path to get into the game industry. Now, get into the game industry can mean several things. Some of you may be thinking, look, I want to get a job in the game industry. I want to whatever. I want to work in Bangalore. I'm working in Pune. I want to work in India. I want to join the game industry as a designer, artist, programmer, etc., etc. Okay. Then some people have been thinking, man, I don't want to get a job. I want to be a freelancer. I want to like sit at home in the comfort of my room and do freelancing. Okay. That's my goal, to be a freelancer. So let me know, guys, who all here is who all Who all here is interested in getting a job? Who all is interested in doing freelancing? And who are interested in starting their own game studio? So a lot of people are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. They're like, you know what, I really want to, I have this creative urge. I want to make my own games. I want to start my own game studio. So do let me know what exactly you want. Like, what is your career goal? Okay, so do put that down in the chat. So basically, I have an idea of what you guys are interested in. Okay, so Hiranmoy is saying job. Satya is saying job. RK Dev is saying start my own studio. Amit is saying start my own studio. Jay is saying yes for all three. You want to do freelancing plus job plus into studio. Okay. Bonito is saying freelance. Yash is saying job and also studio. Job. Himanshu, job. Study Hub, my own game studio. Ayush, freelance. Okay, awesome. So I'll be telling you a roadmap for all these things, so that you can actually hopefully be able to achieve your goals. Okay, okay, awesome. So let's get started. Let's start with all right. So let's start with the basic funda of what it means. Like, what does it mean to be a game dev? How do you get started with game dev? Now, see, guys, one thing I will tell you before we get started is that game development is one of the wait to change the format. One second, guys. This format is not great. Yes, that's much better. Okay, so let me tell you about one basic fundamental of game industry or any industry. Now, game industry is, see, playing games is one thing. When you're playing games, when you're a player, you have one particular experience. It's fun. It's like you're entertaining yourself. You can do what you want. Now, when you want to become a game maker, it's quite different. It's not the same as playing games. The mindset, the thinking is very, very different. Remember that game development is actually quite technical. Also remember that game development is combines all the creative fields in the entire world, in the history of human beings. Everything comes together to make a video game, right? There is design, there is art, there is programming, there is psychology, there is technical stuff, there is storytelling, there is cinematography, there is psychology, like so much stuff. Everything, all the human endeavors, all the human creative endeavors come together to actually build video games. So what you are doing as a game maker, as a game developer, is you are building a whole universe. You're playing God, especially the game designers. They are playing God because you're creating an entire universe, right? You're creating the characters, the sky, the environments, the dialogue, the philosophy, the history, the morality, everything. You're creating it. And then after you're creating it, you're inviting other people into that world to participate in that world, to be in that world with you. Okay. So it's not a small thing. It's it's wonderful. Game development is one of the, if you love video games, right, if you like playing video games, game development is one of the most satisfying things you can do with your life. I promise you that. Okay, it's not easy, but it's very satisfying. It's really, really good. But remember that it is very, very particular when it comes to what it needs. Now, a lot of people, what they do is that they think, see, also what's happening in these days in today's world is that, remember that 10 years, 12 years, no, 15, 20 years ago, there was no information, right? The old time game developers in the like the 70s, 80s, they had no internet, they had no tutorials, they had no YouTube, they had no Udemy, they had nothing. They just had the game engine. All I think they had was a documentation of the game engine. That's it. And the documentation was messed up, the code was broken. Nothing was there. Everything had to be learned from scratch, or it had to be learned from other people. Okay, so in India, we have this whole Guru Shishya system, right? And I think people have forgotten about it. They think that you can just go and you can go on the internet, you can go on YouTube, and you can learn everything. You can learn some things. You can learn tools. So, for example, you can learn which button to click, how to use the tool, how to use the tool. You can learn from the internet, you can learn from Udemy. You cannot understand, you don't, it's very very difficult to understand the process of making game, the mindset of making games from the internet. This you have to learn from the process itself, by building the games itself, or you have to learn from somebody else from that guidance. Okay, so remember this. I- One of the ways, if you guys want to get your job as a freelancer, you want to get your job as as start your own studio, whatever it is, a good way to start definitely is to start with free, by learning from the internet, from YouTube, like pay 299, 399 on Udemy, whatever it is. It's a good way to get familiar with the tools. But remember, you're crawling at that point, and what you want to do is you want to fly, right? To go from crawling to flying, you can do it by yourself free, but it will take a very 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 long time, right? So remember that learning from the internet is great, and you can continue to do it. If you don't, if you, depending on how much time you have, if you say, look man, I've got 5 years, aram say in 5 years, I want to learn for free, I want to learn from YouTube, you'll understand, you'll learn the entire thing, but it'll take you long, and you'll make a lot of mistakes, and you may get frustrated in the way, like, you may get frustrated and say, man, like, I can't do this anymore. This is just too hard. Many people give up because it takes so long. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, now let's keep that out of the way, and then let's go for the next slide. Okay, right. Now, the other thing, and this is mostly for people, remember, the first principle of gamer to maker is that the only way to learn how to make video games is to actually make them. So if you want to be a game designer, you want to be a game programmer, you want to be a game artist, the fastest way to learning, is to actually build a game. In other fields, you can aram say, you can go to a college, you can go spend money, papa will give you money to go to a nice college, you go, you attend the classes, you do get, make sure you have enough attendance, you do the exams, and somehow you manage to pass the exam, then you get a piece of paper, you get a piece of degree or diploma or masters or whatever it is, and then you have that, and you take that diploma or a degree or masters, and you go to a studio and give them and say, look, this is my degree. Oh, very good, awesome. How much did you get? 90% gold medalist. Come, this is your starting salary. Awesome, right? In games, it's not like that. Games is very 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 practical. So wherever you are, whether you're in class 12, or whether you're in college, or whatever your situation is, or maybe you're doing another job, how to learn game development, build games, make games, right? But the problem is that when people start to make games, people forget two things, right? People forget two things. The first thing that people forget, is that game development is not a solo thing. Solo game developers have become very famous because one or two or three solo game developers have made some games and they became very successful. But solo game development is not really a thing. It's okay for learning, it's okay for understanding, but solo development is not really a thing in the industry because it takes many people to build a game, right? So don't have unreal expectations of doing solo to game development. If you're building a game by yourself, that's absolutely fine, but don't expect that game to be hit. Understand that I'm making a game. If I get some feedback from this game, I have some people, some friends, family playing it, I make $5-10, that's awesome. Don't have unrealistic expectations of your first few games. Okay. Once one in a million people may have a huge hit, but that is a very, very unrealistic expectation. Also, remember when you're building your first game, you have to start small, right? You can't start with your first game. This is a very, 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 very common mistake. People start building their games and they think, you know what, I'm going to build an MMO. I'm going to build the next God of War by myself, sitting by myself, watching YouTube videos, right? The problem is expectations are very, very high, right? Because you think, dude, I don't want to make some like shitty Flappy Bird clone, right? I want to make the kind of games that I play. That's what I want to do. That's my dream. Sure, it's good to have a dream. You can have that dream that someday you're going to be making those kind of games, but not in the beginning. Like you can't like you can't like go straight from crawling to flying. You have to kind of like there are some stages in the middle. So if you have unrealistic expectations, your game projects are going to go to shit. So when you start, do something small. Do like a if you want to start wherever you are, whether you're in class 12, college, or whatever, a great way to get started with game dev is to actually build something small, watch YouTube videos, whatever it is. In fact, in my program, in Game to Maker, we don't even take people mostly who have never tried anything, right? Because they have too many illusions. So we do, but it's rare. If the attitude is good, we accept them. Mostly, we in Game Maker, we only accept people who have had some experience, even if they build one chota game, watch some YouTube videos. Then we say, okay, this person at least understands game dev a little bit. In most cases, okay. So it's good to get started for free, try some stuff for free, and then you basically understand the funder. But start something small. It's very, very important to finish projects. Okay. And that brings us to, I think, the next slide. Okay. Next. So now ho gaya. Let's talk about the big question. Okay, let's talk about the big question. Now you started doing something by yourself. You have a little bit of idea of game dev, whether you're game design, game programming, whatever it is, right? Then it's not easy. Most people, they get stuck in tutorial hell. They're only watching tutorials. They're watching tutorial, doing something chota, and they never break out of it, right? It's literally called tutorial hell because there's so much information on the internet, so many videos. If you do like how to use Unity, you'll get a billion videos, and you're like, what do I use? What do I do? Like, what do I do with all this information? There's too much information, and there's too much random knowledge on the internet, people. So then they say, okay, Rahul, now they understand that at some point. They say, okay, man, I need some instruction. I need to go to a college. I need to go to school because that's what we do, right? In India, we are taught that education is a thing. We need to go to college. We need to go to an institute. We need to kind of figure this stuff out. And they start looking for a college. Okay. And then, so here's the thing what you have to understand. Now, I have taught at colleges in India. I myself studied at a college. I studied at Vancouver Film School. I I don't know. Some of you may know my background, but till the age of 33, I was a merchant navy officer. Nothing to do with video games, right? At the age of 33, and I was earning really well. I was earning like at that time, 14 years ago, I was earning $6,000 a month, tax free in the merchant navy. And one day I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I just want to get out of here. I want to be a game designer. And I just like dropped everything and I went to Vancouver Film School, which is obviously in Vancouver. And I studied game design for 1 year over there. Right. So I went to a very good game college. Right. And in 1 year, I was a game designer. I learned really fast. Right. The problem is that India, firstly, the game industry in India is behind the game industry over there. And secondly, people don't know how to teach. Colleges don't know how to teach, right? When I say, not even that there are very few, unfortunately, there are none. There is nothing in India which will teach game development, whether it's game design or game art or game programming, properly the same way as the standard of the West. Because what is the difference? Firstly, the difference is who is going to teach you. most game colleges in India, not all game colleges in India, they don't have people from the industry. They have some random kids who are a little bit maybe more experienced than you. They call them, they pay them 10,000, 20,000 rupees a month to be an instructor, and they say, okay, fine, do it. Right? Then there are no game projects. There are no game projects. It's just like you learn something by yourself. You want to make something by yourself, you make it. Very good. Congratulations. It's maybe one step. It's like maybe one step above YouTube, or sometimes even not even as good as YouTube. And they charge you. Like recently, I've had so many complaints from people about this particular game course, which is started by a very, very famous company, like 6-month course started by a very, very famous company, really awesome website and all that. A 6-month program, and they charge like 5-6 lakh rupees, 3-4-5-6 lakh rupees if you take a loan. And people are just crying, people are complaining, their lives have been ruined, their money has been ruined, like they've lost money. So many complaints I have gotten about this particular institute that it wants to make me cry. It's horrible, right? And what they do is that they spend a lot of money on the brochure, they spend a lot of money on the advertisements, they spend a lot of money because they have huge marketing budget, right? And what they do is that they make many, 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 many promises. They'll tell you everything. They'll say, "Arey, you'll get a job, you'll get 100% job placement guarantee, you'll have, you'll get to go abroad, whatever you want." They tell you things you want to hear. You say, "Can I go this?" Yes, yes, of course. Can I get this? Yes, yes, of course. So when somebody promises you too much, when someone makes unrealistic promises, you have a problem, because nothing comes easy. Nothing good comes easy or comes fast, right? If you want something fast, you have to make effort and you have to pay a price for it. And unfortunately, in India, a lot of game colleges, they fool you, right? Just talk to people who are at game college. Don't take my word for it. They fool you by making false promises, and then years are gone. That's it, right? So in India, the problem is not at the problem is I empathize with you guys, because it's really a problem in India, right? Which is why I started Gamer to make a to guide people, and I started my own courses. But if you so basically you have two options. It's like devil and deep sea. Learn from the internet and take forever to do it, or you go to a shitty game college. Or if you have money, if you're rich, and if your dad is rich, your dad is a rich businessman, or there's a lot of black money, or like some great awesome executive, then you can just spend like 50, 60 lakhs, 1 crore, and you can go abroad. You can go to some nice college in the UK, you can go to some nice college in the US, and you can learn game dev over there. Okay, but also remember that you learn game dev, you'll understand fundas of game dev, but you'll not be able to get a job because you don't have experience, right? We'll talk about the whole going abroad thing later on in great detail. You can, if you really want to go to a college for game development and do like online offline stuff, then going abroad is the best option. But it's very, very, very expensive. Okay, that's the funda. Okay, now people who are asking for my projects, just go to my LinkedIn. Okay, go to my LinkedIn, and you'll be able to see whatever games I've worked on. So I work for I have a day job in which I work for one of the biggest companies in the world. I started off my career at Gameloft, right? And then I joined a company which is one of the world's largest online real money gaming companies. Okay, and the games I have made, I don't know, like more than $100 million in revenue. Not that I got that money, but my games that I have made have more than $100 million. And I've been doing this for like 10, 12 years. Just go to my LinkedIn and you'll be able to get um, all the information over there. Okay. Right. Okay. So next up, yeah. So either go abroad, right? Which is why fundamentally I started my own game courses, because I was teaching at game colleges, and what happened was that I know how to do education, right? And I went to these game colleges and I'm like, guys, I'm teaching here, but this is not the right way to teach. So can we change our methodology? And they were like, no, because we're already earning money. So at that point I was like, Okay, whatever. And then 3-4 years ago, I decided to set up my own game course, right? Gamedev, in which I teach, I teach how to make video games. More than 50 people, but this is not about that. If you are interested, guys, I'll put the thing up here. If you're interested, any of you who's interested in actually knowing more about G2M courses, you can just scan this QR code. Hang on a second. I've got a QR code. You can book a call at some point with the team if you're interested in the courses. But anyway, let's go back to it. Okay, right. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so one more funda that I want to tell you. Now, a lot of you are thinking, what should my roadmap be? Should I go to a game college? Now, the choice, very frankly, the choice that you guys are getting is a difficult choice, because you're getting a choice of either I learn from YouTube by myself, or I go abroad, or I go to a game college, something like that. So basically, the choice is free or paid, right? Very simple choice. Now, I'll give you an analogy. If you guys say, suppose I live in Hyderabad. Okay, now I live in Hyderabad and my goal is to reach Delhi. So don't know anything about game development, and your goal is to get a job or whatever it is. You want to achieve your goal. Now, if I'm staying in Hyderabad and I want to travel to Delhi, or I want to travel to Bangalore, how do I do that? Right? There are fundamentally two ways of doing that. No, many ways. I can walk. I can walk to Delhi or Bangalore or Bombay. Totally, right? Like, I have legs. There are roads. I can totally walk to Bangalore. But what's the problem? I'm going to take a long time, and it's going to be very, very, very painful, right? I can walk to Bangalore. It's going to take me months to walk, and my health is going to suffer, and I might even be like lying dead, right? What is another option? Another option is to take a flight. If I want to invest the money, I can go and make my trip. I can book a flight. In 1 hour, I'm going to be there. Aram se. Zoom. But what's the difference between free and paid is that I got it done fast. I invested time. I invested money. I invested something, right? So fundamentally, if you want to do it for free, do it for free. Go for it, right? But make sure you have the time. Make sure you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. Okay. Now, okay. So a few questions here. See, guys, I cannot individually take the names of colleges. Okay, but there are some people typing about a game college, it's not a game college, it's a franchise of institutes which starts with M and ends with C. That's all I'm going to say that people are typing in the chat. So many. It sucks. It's horrible, right? When it comes to game development, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. The number of people who have suffered, the number of people who have lost their money. They have a course, they have a very nice brochure, they'll make some very nice promises, but they don't teach you game development. They teach you art, not even game art, they teach you animation art, right? So you can go and if you want to waste your money in a few years, then go for it. Okay. Now, so Krish is asking, when there is no good college in India, then where we can learn. So, okay, one more thing I forgot to ask. Right. Now, the next question from a lot of you is, sir, I want to difference between online and offline. Because in Gamer to Maker, our game college is online. Okay. But a lot of people come and say, Rahul, like, what is the difference online and offline? Okay. Okay. No. Wait. I lost my train of thought. Let me come to it. We are in the roadmap. So now, if you are after, people say, is college important? Right? What do? I don't have any option. I don't have any game college to go to. Okay. People ask this question. What about graduation? Is college important? Let's talk about that a little bit. And what I have today, yes, go to college as far as possible. Okay. Since there are no game dev colleges, forget about game dev colleges. Just go to college. If you are in the technical stream, if you want to be a game designer, if you want to be a game programmer, you see, if you want to be a game programmer, if you want to go into the technical side, just go to CSE or BTech, any place which has computers and coding, right? If there is computers, coding, go and do that. Do your graduation. That is my thing. Finish your graduation. Okay. If there is someone who is in design, see if you can have a bachelor of design course or even a bachelor of arts course, or you can even go and do BTech. For game designers, any stream is okay. Okay. For game artists, if you want to be a game artist, then I would suggest BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts. Go to a college and do a Bachelor of Fine Arts course, because that will really give you the basics. Okay. You will learn the basics of art. See, guys, people who want to become game artists, they think that they can just do whatever and they can download some Maya and download some Blender and do some tutorials and immediately become a game artist because they know how to use the tools, right? Sure, you can copy something from the internet and make some 3D models. But if you want to be good, if you want to be really good in your job, if you want to really reach that high level as an artist, as a game artist, remember, before being a game artist, you have to be an artist. An artist, right? Which means that your fundamentals of art have got to be strong. You have to understand perspective. You have to understand anatomy. You have to be doing sketching. Doesn't matter if you're a 3D artist. Okay. The best 3D artists that I know are actually very, very good at sketching and perspective and drawing. Okay. Basics are important. In today's world, it's very easy to like just dismiss the basics. I want to be this awesome. I want to make like 3D models and environments, but I've never even practiced perspective. Okay. So that's very, very important. See, in Gamer to Maker, we teach that stuff. Okay. There are people who come to G2M in the art program, in the art diploma. We don't just like start with tools. We start with the basics. We start with shapes. We start with perspective. And in 1 year, they understand the basics and then they go and move on to tool and do a game project. So the process at G2M is fast, but if you want to do it by yourself, make sure you understand the basics. And if you're an artist, I would recommend, if after class 12, I would recommend doing BFA first. If you are a programmer, then go and do your BTech. You'll understand the basic funda, you'll understand coding, you'll understand different languages, you'll understand data structures, algorithms, all that kind of thing. Okay. And yes, if you want to be a game programmer, physics and maths is important. If you want to be a good game programmer, see, I'm not just telling you random shit. If you want to be a good game artist, if you want to be an average game artist, chalega, you can do whatever you want. If you want to be a good game artist, you have to understand the basics. If you want to be a good game programmer, your basics are important. And having basics from a college, from good teachers at a college, is important. Okay? So also remember that many companies in India, they don't even, many big companies, especially in India, they don't accept people who are without a degree. So you can have a degree in psychology or any random degree. That's absolutely fine. And you can still get a job. They're not going to ask you, show us your degree, which college, what did you study in college, how many marks did you get? No, they'll be like, dude, whatever. Are you a graduate? Do you have a degree? Whatever. Yeah, show me. Tick mark. Person is a graduate. They're not going to see your marks. You just have to pass. Okay. Gold medalist hai. Okay. Because see, remember, you're not going to get a job in the game industry on the basis of your paper, on the basis of your diploma, on the basis of your degree. You're not. They're going to test your skills. In the game industry, focus on building skills and not your degree. It's good to have a degree, it's good to have qualification, but you need to focus on building the skills. Do you understand? Okay, let me answer a few questions. Can I do concept artist? Is it overseas? Okay, so I'll answer. See, concept artist is great, but as a concept artist, you may not have so much job opportunities just as a concept artist. If you're good in drawing and everything, become a concept artist. You can also do concept artist, but you also need to be no production art, right? So you need to be able to draw characters and environment and actually animate them and make final assets. Okay, so just concept art is not good enough. You should be able to do concepts and go from concept into production art. Okay. um okay, right, let's see if I have any more memes. Hang on a second. Yeah. So this is, of course, what I was just talking about. A degree will not get you a job. A degree helps in getting a job, but a degree will not get you that job. What is actually going to get you a job is your portfolio. Okay, your skills. So, what exactly is a portfolio? Let's go through the process. Okay, so let's kind of like revisit the roadmap once again. Wherever you are, whether you have finished class 12 or you have finished college or you are in college, whatever it is, the first thing, the first part of your roadmap should be to start building your skills. Build your skills. How do you build your skills? By downloading Unity or whatever it is and starting to build a game, right? Or if you're a game artist, you can start practicing game art. You can learn the tools, you can learn the processes. If you're a game designer, if you want to be a game designer, then you can actually be in a game. But also remember, guys, the most important, and many of you, so tell me, how many of you are not even sure about what role you want? Okay. Tell me if you're not sure whether you want to be a game artist or game programmer or a game designer. Okay. um, so people are asking about one particular college in Hyderabad, which I'm not going to obviously name, and I know that college really well because I taught over there for many years. And the reason I left that college is because they were not following the proper methodology of teaching, and I tried to change that process, and nobody listened. So I quit and I started my own gaming college. Okay. So, okay. Right. Now, one more question I want to ask you guys. A lot of questions are asking about this online versus offline. People say, like, sir, Rahul, I want to do, I don't want to do online. I want to do offline program. I want to actually go and attend a college. I want to sit in a college and I want offline because my parents are not going to let me do online. Online is basically bullshit, right? You basically, they show you all recorded classes. I want to go to a proper college and I want to sit in that college and I want to learn. Now, let's talk about that. So tell me something, guys. I'll ask you a question. Now, what if you want to learn game developer from an experience? You want to learn game development from an experienced game developer, correct? You want to learn game programming from someone who has 5 or 10 years of experience at least, right? So this person is in the game industry, 5, 10 years of experience, made good games, made successful games, and you want to learn from that person. Now, how much do you think that person would earn in the game industry? At least 5 to 10 lakhs with 5 to 10 years of experience, right? That person would at least be making 5 to 10 lakhs a year. Say, suppose that person is making like 7 lakhs a year, right? Or say minimum 7 to 10 lakhs a year. That means that person would be earning at least 70, 80,000 rupees per month. Which game college do you think can afford to pay a teacher 70,000 rupees a month? No, they can't, right? So, which means that people from the game industry with good experience don't come to game colleges to teach because the game colleges can't afford them, right? And even if some game college said, say, imagine you are in the game industry and you are like having 5, 10 years of experience, so you're enjoying your job, right? You're enjoying your job, you're making games, and someone comes to you like, I'll give you the same money, you come and teach at a college. You'll be like, no, dude, I enjoy my job making games. Why should I come and teach? And anyway, if you stop making games, like you're not your knowledge is going to be out of date like this, because it's like use it or lose it, right? So which is why offline colleges in India don't have good instructors. They have just some random kids who don't know much who are teaching you. So if you want to go to an offline college in India, you're going to have that problem. So I saw this problem, right? And I saw what was happening, which is why I started my own diploma program, my own college, where people from the game industry who are actually working are coming and teaching. So the people in Gamer to Maker, the instructors in Gamer to Maker, we have classes in the evening, right? We've designed the courses in such a way that if you're in college, you're doing a BTech, CSE, BFA, whatever, you can do the diploma program. You can do it, and it happens in the evening. So the instructors, they finish their job, and then like 8 o'clock, after 8:30 in the evening, the classes happen, and then you get to actually interact with the people, with the instructors from the game industry who are actually teaching, having 5, 10, 15 years of experience, right? Abroad it's like that, because abroad people go, see, also in India the people are companies are assholes, right? Like they don't even let their people go and teach. So if someone goes, I know so many people who are like, man, can I finish twice a week? Can I go to this college and can I teach? Can I finish early at 5:30 and go? There's like, no, you can't go, because you're earning extra money on the side and you're not working here anymore. You're just being lazy. So in India, the attitude of the studios is very bad. They don't allow people to go and teach, right? Which is also a huge problem, right? um so yeah, that's one of the big problems. So that is why online and offline, this is one of the big problems in India. Offline game college mein instructors nahi hai, because okay. Tharun is asking how much experience do I have. So I joined my game dev college in 2008. I graduated from Vancouver Film School in 2009. And in 2009, I joined a company in Vancouver called Piranha Games. So my first job was as game tester. Okay. I was a game tester. Like my first job was game tester. So I was a game tester in 2009, which is like what, 15 years ago. And then I was a game tester in Vancouver. And then I had to move back to India for personal reasons. And I moved back in 2010 to India, and I started working as a game designer at Gameloft. You guys must know Gameloft, right? So that was my first job as game designer. That was 2010, and now it's 2024. So I guess that's about 15 years. I've been making games, and that's when I started teaching. Also, in 2010, I started teaching at a college here that some of you are talking about here in Hyderabad. So I've been teaching for, yeah, teaching, working, teaching for about 14, 15 years. Okay, all right. Question about indie game development. Okay, let's see. Let's go on to the next meme now. Okay, this is interesting. So whenever you guys do start project, make sure you finish them. All right, don't start like crazy ambitious projects and just be like, this is too hard. The thing is, you have to finish games. Finish games. All right. Don't just start with games, finish them, because anybody can start a bunch of games, but the difficult part is actually finish the game. And if you want a job in the game industry, that's what people are looking for. They're going to be looking for finished projects in your portfolio. Okay. Now, in guys, also, whoever is here, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a look at the videos. But many things that I'm saying here when it comes to portfolios, when it comes to jobs, everything is there in the YouTube videos that I keep releasing. Okay, so pretty much everything I've said, there are live, there are shorts, there are YouTube videos. Okay, if you look around a little bit, you can actually find all this information in the videos of my channel. So I really encourage you to subscribe and have a look at the videos. Okay, I'm no Mr. Beast, right? I don't have like a billion followers, but I try to post content which is actually relevant. Okay, also while we're on the topic, let us Instagram. So follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I post a lot of content over there, free content as well. Okay, so what's the time now? 11:45. Okay, I think what we'll do is now. I've given a lot of fundas. Let's take some questions from people who are. Let's take some questions from people. Okay, let's see some questions. From the chat. Okay, some which game engine would you recommend? That's a good question. Okay, now see, there are basically Godot is okay, but like Godot is not going to give you a job. Okay, if you want a job, there are two choices. There is Unity and there is Unreal. Just two. Unity and Unreal Engine will get you a job. When it comes to numbers, Unity in India has the advantage because there are a lot of mobile game companies, and Unity is really good for mobile. So when it comes to number of jobs, there are more jobs available for people who know Unity. In sheer when it comes to numbers, okay, in the game industry, you can join mobile games, right? You'll have a very good chance of getting a job if you know Unity really well. But Unreal also, there are a lot of jobs, and there are jobs not only in the game industry but outside of the game industry also. Because see, Unreal is used on many applications. Unreal is used in AR, VR, etc., etc. Many places Unreal is being used. Okay, so Unreal can also get you a job. Unity can also get you a job. But when it comes to Unity, the numbers are more. Okay, now Heart DD. Just I already said there's no college in India for game development. What is the difference between game artist and game programmer? Just look at my videos and you'll find out. Um, okay. Um, okay. Okay. People asking about AI. Let's answer that question. Okay. Is AI going to affect game development? Okay. Tell me in the chat. Tell me that. How many of you are worried about AI? How many of you are thinking, man, if I join the game industry, AI is going to take my job? Yeah. Okay. Tell me in the chat who all is afraid of AI. Okay. Um, right. Okay. So answer this question of mine. Which area, which job, which stream in the world is not going to be affected by AI? Maybe pawn shop, you know, but everywhere AI is going to affect the entire world. Okay, so it's not that game dev is not going to be affected, right? But then you can't run anywhere. You can't run from game development to some other field because AI is going to affect that also. AI is going to affect everything. AI is affecting everything. But remember, you if you AI is only an assistant. AI is helping us. Don't be afraid of AI. Make AI your friend. Stay ahead of AI skills. AI right now is doing the really menial tasks everywhere, not just the game industry. So don't be afraid of AI. Master AI. Make AI your friend. Do not be afraid of AI. Okay? Don't worry about it. And especially in the game industry, especially in very creative field like the game industry, for a very long time, AI is not going to be able to touch the skill jobs. The menial donkey jobs AI can do, right? But the real good skill jobs cannot be touched by AI. So do not worry about AI. The game industry is actually more safe than other industries because it is a very complex and a very creative industry in which a lot of people have to come together and make very subjective decisions, right? So subjective decisions AI cannot make. AI can make objective decisions, not subjective decisions, right? So which is why game dev is actually one of the safest places. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have another one now. I have another meme that I wanted to show you guys. Actually, you know what, let me ask some questions here. Okay. Um okay. Which college is good? I've answered already. AI I've answered. Okay. Now, some people asking me, sir, if you join Game Maker, if you buy your course, what value it will add, which YouTube tutorials don't? So, in Game Maker, the program we have in Game Maker is it's like you're learning from another human being. You're learning from a teacher, right? I will be teaching. Game design is taught by myself personally. You'll be on a call, the same call. It's just that I'm going to go to Zoom and you're going to have a call with me at least once a week in which you're going to learn personally from me. We have mentors with a lot of experience in game programming, in game art, pixel art, everything. We have experienced people, and you will be learning from people. If you have a doubt, if you're learning from YouTube, can you ask that YouTuber your doubt? Do you think that YouTuber is going to call you or get on Discord or WhatsApp or explain to you what the problem is? Can you get your doubts cleared live from a YouTube video? Can you get in touch with the person who made the Udemy video and ask that person your doubts? No, right? I I'm not just a teacher, I'm also a mentor. Okay. There are people like my one of my most best moments is when I get a message from almost all my students, they contact me on WhatsApp. Okay. Like not random stuff, but like important things like, Rahul, I have an interview tomorrow. Can you please help me? Then I get on a call and I'll prepare them for the interview. I have an interview with Gamecom. Or it's like for if it's for programming, I'll be like, hey, look, you could just call the programming mentor. If it's for art, they can actually have a phone call with the art mentor, and the art mentor will advise them as to what to do in the interview. We have mock interviews. Okay. We help with salary negotiations. We help you to like make your portfolio. We review your portfolio. We help you build your portfolio. So many times I get the contract. My students send me the contract with the studio saying, Rahul, can you please take a look at this contract? I don't know if I should sign it. And I read the contract and I tell them, like, listen, this contract is crap because they have a bond and this is not fair. Please don't sign this contract. Don't join the studio. So my job as mentor is to make sure my students get the best opportunities possible with the studios, because we have partner game studios, right? We have people coming to us and saying, hey guys, we need good people, we need designers, artists, programmers. So then I'm like, sure, we have students who are ready and we hook them up. So they join over there, right? It's not just like you'll be like watching some random recorded videos on the internet, and then you have to do things by yourself. No, in Cable to Maker, we help with everything. We help with placements, we help with interviews, we help with like salary negotiations. I tell them, Dekho, where is a company? Is Bangalore? Look, this much money is not enough. Are you working from home? What is the job offer? How many hours a day are you working? How many days a week are you working? Is the salary fair? Right? Our team advises people on all this stuff, because if I accept someone as my student, then they become my personal responsibility because I've taken money from them, right? I've accepted that responsibility to teach you. See, ultimately, you have to do it. You have to do the work. It's not going to be easy, but the guidance will be there. The mentorship will be there. You will not have any questions which go unanswered. You will receive the guidance. You have to walk the path yourself, but there is someone guiding you, there is someone mentoring you, there is someone advising you, there is someone helping you to not make those mistakes that we have made, right? That's the whole goal of a mentor and a mentorship program. Okay, so that, I hope that answers the question. Now, good question. Now, peer group, right? Remember I talked about yeah. Here, Tech Gamer is asking, is there any scope of game development in India? बाप रे बाप, पूरी रामायण खत्म हो गई. Right. Okay, yeah. I forgot. Also, I want to talk about freelancing. Now, those of you who want to do freelancing, guys, freelancing is really, really hard because freelancing में पैसा नहीं मिलता है initially. Okay. So if you want to be a freelancer, my recommendation is get a job first. Okay, do a job for a few years and then reach that level where you can take money in advance. If you take money in advance as a freelancer, then you'll be good. But when you're young, when you're starting off, and as a freelancer, you just be running after people for money because they don't respect you. They'll give you your money. You'll have to chase after them. So being a freelancer as a beginner is really, really hard. I do not recommend it. Do it later on in your career. Also, those of you who want to start your own game studios, guys, I have some bad news. You have to get a job first. Okay, you have to at least spend some time in the game industry, have a job. What we call in the jute ghisna. You have to ghiso your jutas for a few years to actually learn the process of game development. Only after you've learned that process, then you can go to that stage where you start your own game studio. So whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to be a freelancer, my recommendation to everybody is to actually get a job. Now let's talk about going abroad. How many of you guys want to go abroad? How many of you guys want to go abroad? Right. Two more topics I'll talk about quickly. Going abroad, masters. Right. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, I want to do my masters. Right. As if it's like some kind of magic wand that, you have, you take, you spend money, you have papa's money, and papa will send you a masters, and you wanted to go and do you want to go abroad and do masters, and then like everything, all your problems will be solved. Right, you'll get a job, you'll know everything like matrix type, like drrrr, all the knowledge of game dev will come inside you. Okay, guys, masters is useless without experience. So if you want to go, you think you're going to take a shortcut by going abroad and doing masters, paying a lot of money to some fancy college, you'll get your degree, but nobody will hire you because you don't know anything. You just have academic school experience. And what the game industry is looking for is not academic experience. They want skills, they want experience. They don't want some guy with a degree. They want someone who actually has the skills. So if you want to go on abroad and do your masters, great. But at least get 5 to 6 years of experience in India and then go and do your masters. Then you can get a job. You can go and do your masters abroad, but don't have expectations. Like you can go abroad right after your graduation, finish your graduation in game dev or whatever, or normal graduation, and then go abroad and do masters in game dev. You think, yeah, I'm going to go, I'm going to know everything, I'm going to get a job. No, you'll have a masters, but you won't have a job. You'll be coming back to India after that without a job. And then you'll have to again learn game development, and then you'll be able to get a job. You'll have a work permit there. Your masters will give you a work permit. So you can get a job as a taxi driver or a security guard. That's absolutely fine. Right. And this is what happens. So, guys, you can't just run abroad and do your masters and like have it a shortcut for joining the game industry. It just doesn't work. Okay. You can learn it the hard way by spending 1 crore rupees and wasting 2 years, or you can learn it from me right now. Okay. The game design batch is open every month. We have a game design batch every month. We have monthly batches at Game to Maker, guys. Guys, okay, I don't have much time. I'm going to kind of stop now. I'll try and do these lives more often. I'll try and do one live a month like this, so I can answer questions. And so there's a scan here. Those of you, this is only for people. This one here. For only of those of you who are interested in joining Gamer to Maker programs, check out the link in description for Gamer to Maker programs. We are the only government recognized college in India. Okay, for diploma. So check out the link, and if you want to book a call with a counselor for the courses, this is not for general inquiries. For general inquiries, this is why I have this. If you only want interested in enrolling in the course, scan this code and you can actually book a call with a counselor. Okay, so I gotta go now, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you join the Discord server. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And thank you so much for coming. Right. Yes, work from home is possible. Man, there's so many questions. I could be here forever. Okay, it's Sunday. I have to spend some time with my kids. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you around. And hopefully let's have one live like this every month. Um, uh, and I will see you guys later. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Let's go.